Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone, and especially the honorable lecturer who supervised these lectures, Ms. Rika Afriyanti. Well, in this occasion, we are from Group 6, will present topic about syllabus, functions, and elements. But before that, let me introduce my members group. I am Rara Calista as moderator and presenter, Rahayu as a presenter, Jayidah as a presenter, and Anggun Siswahyuni as a presenter. Well, first material about definition and functions will be explained by me. Functions of syllabus will be explained by Rahayu. At the step of designing syllabus will be explained by Jayidah and Anggun. Well, I will discuss about definition and functions of syllabus. Syllabus is a set of plans and arrangements for the implementation of learning and assessment, which are arranged systematically which contain interrelated components to achieve the mastery of basic competencies. The syllabus can also be interpreted as a translation of core competencies and basic competencies into subject matter or learning activities, and competency achievement indicator for assessment. The syllabus becomes a set of plans and arrangement for the learning activities, classroom management, and assessment of learning outcomes. Functions of syllabus. The syllabus is developed based on the competency standard, graduates, and content standard for primary and secondary education units according to the learning patterns in each particular year. There are the common functions of the syllabus. First, the syllabus can be used as a guide in a preparing student's book, where student's book contains subject matter, student activities, and learning evaluations. Second, the syllabus is reference in the presentation and the preparation of the learning plans for all subject studies or management of the learning activities and the development of learning outcomes assessment. And the last is the result of the development of the syllabus in the form of learning tool served as a tool for actualizing the curriculum operational at the educational unit level, make it easier for teacher to learn. And the important things, the syllabus can be developed individually or in a group within one school or several schools by applying several principles, namely, first, scientific. The whole material and activities that are contained in the syllabus must be correct and must be scientifically accounted for. Second, relevant. Coverage, depth, level of difficulty, and order of presentation of material in the syllabus. Third, systematic. The components of the syllabus are functional, interconnected, and achieving competence. Functional competence. Fourth, adequate. Coverage indicators, main materials or learning activities, and learning resources. Fifth, consistent. There is a consistent relationship adhering to the principles between basic competences, indicators, main material or learning activities, learning resources, and assessment system. Sixth, actual and contextual. Indicator coverage means or learning materials, learning activities, and learning resources. Seventh, flexible. The entire syllabus component can be accommodated the variety of learners, education, and the dynamics of changes that occur in the social and community demands. And the last is comprehensive. The component of the syllabus cover the entire domain of the competence, cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. That's all for me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Rahayu. Here I want to explain the next material about material elements of syllabus. As we see in the slide, there are some elements which consist of subject identity, school identity, core competencies, or we can call KI, basic competence, or KD, competency achievement indicators, main material, learning, assessment, and time allocation, and the last is learning researchers. Right, I will explain one by one. As we see, the first is subject identity. Subject identity contains the name of the subject unit that to be taught by students. And then second, school identity. School identity contains the name of the education unit and the class. Third is core competencies or KI is a description of competence in aspect, attitude, knowledge, and skill that must be learned by student to level of school, class, and subject. And the next is core competence or KI. Is the level the ability to achieve the graduate competency standards that participant must have student at each grade level or program that forms of basic development basic competencies. Core competencies include four dimensions that reflects first spiritual, social, attitude, and knowledge. And first basic competence LKD is a specific ability that includes attitude, knowledge, skill related to content or subject. Competencies basic or KD is the ability to achieve core competencies that must be obtained by students through learning. Basic competency contains attitude, knowledge, and skill that are derived from core competencies that must be mastered by students. And fifth, competency achievement indicators is the behavior that can be measured or observed to show the achievement of certain basic competencies to become references for subject assessment. The competency achievement indicator is a measure, characteristic, process that describe the achievement of competencies basic. Indicators are formulated using operational verbs that can measure, for example, identifying, counting, differentiating, telling, conclude, practice, describe, and demonstrate. Teacher can develop each basic competency into two or more indicators achievement of learning outcome according to the breadth or depth of these basic competencies. Six is main material, contains relevant fact, concept, principle, and procedures, and written in book form in accordance with the formulation of achievement indicators competence. Seven is learning. Learning is activity carried out by educators or students to achieve the expected competence. And the next is assessment. Assessment is the process of gathering and processing information to determine the achievement of student learning outcome. 9 is time allocation. According to the number of lessons in the curriculum structure for 1 semester or 1 year. And the last is learning research. Learning research can be in the form of books, print, electronic media, and the environment, or other relevant learning research. I think that's all. Thank you. Back to moderator.
Okay, I'm Anggun Siswahyuni. Now I will explain design syllabus for the teaching context in Indonesia. The first, assessing core competencies and basic competencies. The things that need to be considered in the assessing key and KD are as follow. The first, the order of key and KD based on the hierarchical concept of discipline or the level of difficulty of the material does not always have to be in accordance with the order in the content standard. The second, the relationship between core competencies and basic competencies in subject. And the last, the relationship between core competencies and basic competencies between subject. And the second, identifying the subject matter of the lesson. The things that need to be considered in identifying the subject matter for achieving basic competencies are as follow. The first, potential learners. The second, relevance to regionals, characteristic level of physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual development of students. The third benefit for students, for scientific structure. Fifth, actually depth and breadth of learning material. Sixth, relevance to the needs of student and environmental demands. And last, time allocation. Next, I will explain developing learning activities. Learning activities are designed to provide learning experience that involve mental and physical process through interactions between students and teachers, the environment, and other learning research in achieving basic competencies. Next, I will explain formulating basic competency achievement indicator. Indicators are markers of the achievement of basic competencies characterized by measurable change in behavior that include attitude, knowledge, and skill. Indicators are developed in accordance with the characteristic of student, subject, educational units, regional potential, and are formulated in measurable or observable operational verbs. I think enough. That's all for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you for Anggun. And next, 5. Determine the assessment. Assessment technique. Assessment of the achievement of basic competency of student is carried out based on predetermined indicator. Assessment is carried out using tests and non-tests in written and oral form. Performance observation, attitude measurement, assessment of work result in the form of assessment, project and product, use of portfolios, and self-assessment. The things that need to be considered the assessment are follows: rating directed the measurement achievement of competency. Form of assessment instrument. The form of the instrument chosen must be in accordance with the assessment technique. Therefore, the form of the instrument being developed can be written test, can be the form of essay test, multiple choice, filling, matching, etc. Oral test can be list of question. Performance test can be in the form of identification test, simulation test, and product work quotation test. Procedure work sampling test, assignment such as product assignment, homework, etc. Observation using an observation sheet, interview using interview guidelines, portfolio using document of work or student achievement, self-assessment, use self-assessment sheet. For the next, determining time allocation. The time allocation for each basic competency is based on the number of effective weeks and the allocation of time for subject for weeks by considering the number of basic competency, breadth, depth, level of difficulty, and level of importance of basic competency. The time allocation stated in syllabus is an estimate of the average time to master the basic competency needed by various students. Okay, the last, determine learning resource. Learning source are reference, object, and or material used for learning activities in the form of print and electronic media, the source as well the physical, natural, social, and cultural environment. Determination of learning resource is based on competency standard and basic competency as well as main or learning material, learning activities, and competency achievement indicator. Okay, enough for me. Thank you.